Amazing victory for all concerned.
Now at 6, the Writers Guild has reached a tentative deal that could end the union's strike. So when will your favorite shows come back?
And one of the nation's worst airline disasters happened here in San Diego. How the victims are being remembered 45 years later. Plus, do the Padres still have a chance to make the playoffs? We're going to tell you what needs to happen. And how you can win tickets to Disneyland just in time for Halloween.
High pressure taking a hold of our weather pattern here, what that means for us and when we might see some rain headed our way. It's 6 a.m. on Monday, September 25th. You're up with CBS 8.
I would like to go back to work. I really do hope it's over.
Breaking overnight, the Writers Guild of America says it is suspending picketing after reaching a tentative deal with major studios. However, members of the union, they are not authorized to return to work just yet. Thanks for joining us at 6 a.m. I'm Carrie Lane in for Eric Connor.
And I'm Netta Irampur. So glad you're with us here. The Writers Union Board and members have to approve this 3-year contract agreement before the strike can officially end. The deal comes after more than 4.5 months on the picket line. The union and studios negotiated for 5 days straight over several sticking points. So we want to point out some of those, including the regulation of artificial intelligence, staffing minimums for writers' rooms, and the distribution of residuals.
In last night's message to members, the WGA said the tentative deal is, quote, exceptional with meaningful gains and protections for writers in every sector of the membership, end quote. Late night talk shows could return to air within days, but other productions are still halted because actors still have not yet reached a deal. Now to our top story here at home. It is one of the nation's worst airline disasters. Today marks 45 years since Pacific Southwest Airlines Flight 182 crashed in North Park.
This happened after the jetliner collided with a Cessna mid-air. CBS 8's Anna Laurel joining us live from the intersection of where it happened, Dwight and Nile Streets. And the victims will be honored there this morning, right, Anna?
That's right. That's coming up at 8:45, Netta. I'm out here at that intersection. You can see here behind me, it's just a temporary memorial. They've written the victims' names in chalk on the sidewalk, as they do every year. And people have hung up these little tributes on the wall here behind us. Pacific Southwest Airlines was based in San Diego, and a lot of people on board who died that day were San Diegans. And again, it was in 1978 on this day, 2 planes collided over North Park. 7 people on the ground, 2 on that Cessna plane, and 135 people on that PSA Boeing 727 all died instantly. A horrific disaster right here in the San Diego neighborhood. You're looking at old CBS 8 News footage from that time 45 years ago. Now, since then, people meet out here where we are every year to honor these victims. But again, the memorial here is not permanent. Later this morning, starting at 8:45, the names of all who died that day will be read aloud. All the names you're looking at back out here live, written in chalk on that sidewalk. But something new this year, for the first time, a permanent memorial. They're going to break ground on that out at St. Augustine's High School. That happens at 8:45. A moment of silence will be at 9:01. We're going to be out there at the high school starting at 8:45. You can see all that coverage over on the CW when it starts at 8 a.m. We'll be talking to family and friends of victims, and we hope to speak with some of them out here at this memorial site also later this morning. We'll be out at both scenes all morning long for you. Live out here in North Park, I'm Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
So important to remember all those people. Anna, thank you very much for that. This morning, a 3-year-old is at Rady Children's Hospital with major injuries after being thrown from an SUV during a rollover. At least 4 other kids were hurt too. It happened Saturday night. California Highway Patrol says a Ford Expedition with 8 people inside flipped while driving onto the Qualcomm Way I-8 westbound on-ramp. The 26-year-old driver was arrested on suspicion of DUI. This morning, we are working for you to get an update on coaster train service after a tree fell on the tracks in Carlsbad. This happened about 8 o'clock last night. Service was shut down between Carlsbad Village Station and Poinsettia Station. We're trying to find out if anybody was hurt in this and when that train service will resume. We'll be sure to let you know.
This morning, County Supervisor Jim Desmond is calling the influx of migrants at the border a humanitarian crisis. He plans to demand the county declare this a crisis tomorrow at the next supervisors meeting. Now, Desmond says nearly 7,000 migrants have been dropped off in San Diego in the past 10 days alone. He is now calling for comprehensive immigration reform, saying the county's resources are already stretched to its limits. He wrote that, quote, our immigration system is broken. Dropping people at various transit stations without resources is neither humane for San Diegans or the migrants, end quote. CBP says this is to clear the space between the border fences where hundreds have been camping. Desmond sent a letter to President Biden asking for assistance from the federal government. And hospitals in Chula Vista reported an increase of migrants at emergency rooms this past week. The CEO of Scripps Mercy Hospitals told the Union Tribune that normally they see 1 or 2 asylum seekers a night, but that has more than doubled in the past week. Sharp did not mention how this is impacting their emergency room operations. However, the CEO did tell the UT this increased influx has put extra work on healthcare workers. This morning, Mexico says it has agreed to deport migrants from its border cities and return people to their home countries. Mexico also agreed to take more than a dozen other actions to deter migrants from crossing into the United States. That includes adding checkpoints along train routes and submitting daily deports of the number of migrants on their train system to CBP. Today, San Diego County officials are holding a virtual town hall meeting to educate families on the dangers of human trafficking. Experts from around the region will be sharing information about the signs of sex and labor trafficking and how parents can protect their kids, especially on social media. The FBI has ranked San Diego as one of the 13 worst regions in the U.S. for human trafficking, with 8,000 people becoming a victim per year. The Zoom meeting is scheduled to start at 6 p.m. We do have a link under the help button at cbs8.com.
Today, both Caltrans and CHP will provide some new details on now their second phase of that major construction on I-5. Crews are planning to begin work on northbound 5 this Friday. So that means they will close all northbound lanes through the weekend. They'll be using this time to fix a bridge deck over State Route 163. Stay tuned to CBS 8 today. We will have new information following their press conference. And now this morning, gas prices still rising. Oh, we made it to over 6. Yeah, today's average for a gallon of regular $6.04, 19 cents higher than 1 week ago, according to a report from the Division of Petroleum Market Oversight. A unusual transaction on September 15th caused the market price to jump nearly 15 cents per gallon. 50 cents per gallon, excuse me. It did not specify what exactly that transaction was, but it noted the consequences will be felt at the pump for quite some time. So we are working for you, trying to help you find the cheapest gas. So text the word gas to this number right here, 858-571-8888. We'll send you a link to find some of the stations with the lowest gas prices here in San Diego County.
All right, Netta, well, today is a must-win for the Padres to make it to the playoffs. In fact, they're going to be eliminated if they lose any of the final 6 games. So what do they have to do? Well, they just have to keep playing like this.
High fly ball to deep right field, sending Fernando back at the wall. He leaps and makes the catch. Up into the air goes Tatis, and he robs him of a home run.
They can do it. I have faith. That was Fernando Tatis Jr. robbing the Cardinals of a home run yesterday. The Padres went on to win 12-2. The team ended their 8-game winning streak on Saturday. Today, the Padres head to San Francisco to face the Giants. That will happen at 6:45 p.m. Right now, the Padres are 5 games back of the wild card spot. Chances are slim because every other team has to lose, but it's still possible. I feel like we find ourselves always in these situations, Netta, where the San Diego teams are required to win every game, and yet every other team has to lose. Yeah,
I mean, it's still possible, right? That 0.000 something percent chance. Yeah, there's a chance.
A small one, but
so
it's
just keep winning. I mean, they had such a nice long streak of winning, so just keep that up. They know how to do it. Here's a look right now at your weather headlines. Foggy start to the day. Expect some sunshine this afternoon, warming 2 to 5 degrees through Wednesday. So high pressure is here and it will kind of build through Wednesday. That'll be our warmest day of the week. And then everything takes a tumble. So I'll show you that in a moment. For now, though, visibility, yeah, that might be a problem in Ramona. If you're on the 78, just a heads up, driving through some of those valleys in our foothills, that's where the fog may be sitting kind of low. Otay Mesa, your visibility also a little bit low there at 5 miles. So there's a bit of a haze because of our marine layer. It is 66 degrees downtown, 62 in Chula Vista, but a lot cooler inland in El Cajon, La Mesa, upper 50s, 54 in Alpine. Look at Ramona. You're at a chilly 48 degrees, Poway 59. We will feel pretty nice and mild this afternoon if you like the 70s. Here we go. 74 for downtown San Diego today. So over the next few hours, that cloud coverage will hang, but then by 10, 11 o'clock, it usually retreats back, moves on over the ocean, and then we'll all have nice sunshine. 77 in Escondido, 77 in Poway, 75 in Miramar, 77 in La Mesa, Chula Vista, a day in the low 70s. Over the next 3 days, as this high pressure is upon us, you'll see temperatures moving up. Downtown, you could reach 76 by Wednesday, 84 in El Cajon by Wednesday, and then in Carlsbad moving into the mid 70s, San Ysidro from the low 70s to the upper 70s. That's where you're going. So high pressure is here for a few days, and then low pressure takes over, and that's when our temperatures will really take a tumble. This coming weekend will not be like what we just experienced, so enjoy the warmer weather while we have it. And now for a check of your traffic. We do want to show you border wait times because, of course, we know that can get pretty rough. This is the latest from the Customs Border Protection website. 160 miles in the general line at the San Ysidro port of entry. If you're headed through Otay, 85-minute wait to get through that port of entry. Carrie.
All right, still ahead, how a government shutdown would impact Border Patrol as more migrants seek asylum. Plus, the state is days away from starting Care Court in response to the homeless crisis. How the governor is defending this controversial program. Plus, hundreds of San Diegans helped clean our community over the weekend. We are grateful for that, and we're going to tell you how you can still help out and make a difference.